Thank you for double-clicking your mouse tonight. You're listening to the Midnight Frightcast in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Midnight Frightcast, episode number 59. I am one of your hosts, Josh. Calling in from Omaha is our Doctor of Filmonomics, Greg the Movie Guy.
What is up, my brethren?
Sitting across the table from me tonight is our Scream Queen herself, Maddy.
Hello, my sisterin.
And the Doctor of Everything Else, Patrick.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Super loaded show tonight. We're just going to kick it off. We watched a trailer, as always, tonight. We watched the trailer for Dr. Sleep. Who wants to start? High energy
Go
cast.
to me last because I still need to watch it.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Jesus Christ.
I'm really looking forward to this movie. Big Stephen King fan. Loved The Shining. Didn't quite love Dr. Sleep quite as much as I love The Shining, but it's still a pretty solid book. Typical for a lot of his novels, the end is kind of weak in it. But with the trailer that I saw, looks like they're really, really tying it in to the original movie, or should I say the movie based on the book, The Shining, because Kubrick didn't really follow along with the story the best that he could have. So I'm really kind of looking forward to this one.
I was not confused, but I was trying to find spots in that trailer where it did connect to The Shining, because all I really saw was, we know Danny is an adult now. And then, I saw the red rum throwbacks, and I saw the door from The Shining that he looked through at the end. But other than that, I didn't really see a whole lot of connecting. And so my curiosity is going to come from how are they going to tie them together from somebody who does not read like he should.
Right. Other than just using screen caps from the original.
From the original,
the original movie.
Yeah. But it looks really cool. I mean, I love The Shining. I'll go see Dr. Sleep just because I'm a fan of The Shining. I'm curious to see how they put that all together so many years later. So, yeah, Maddy.
As I said, I had no idea this was a sequel to The Shining, and I even picked up the book Dr. Sleep at one point, and it didn't really call to me, even though I am a Stephen King fan. And I also apparently missed that it was a sequel after reading the back of the book. And I don't know, the trailer didn't really call to me either. It kind of seemed disjointed, and I wasn't 100% sure what the movie was about. I also am just, and this is just me personally, I'm not a fan of movies that have a lot of children in the cast, just because by large, I don't think there's a lot of super gifted child actors. I'm not dogging the girl in the movie, but she might do really well. But just me personally, I've never really seen a movie that has a large cast of children and thought, yeah, this is great. So
yeah, I would say that this trailer was specifically designed for Stephen King fans.
Yeah, I can see that a lot.
Greg, do we need a riff? Are you watching it right now, or what do we need to do to get
Just finished it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Greg, what do you think?
Holy crap. The imagery in this looks friggin' fantastic. So I'm hoping that holds really true to this story. I don't know much about the story, which shame on me because I've had the book sitting on my nightstand for about a year now and I have yet to pull the trigger on it. This may be the reason to pull the trigger, though, because, again, imagery looks fantastic. I think this really could almost be a story on its own away from The Shining, which is kind of a deterrent for me. Only because, why not just do a whole new story? Why do you have to do a sequel to this? But given the connections between The Shining with the shots that they have in there of Danny rolling around on his little tricycle and the blood out of the elevator and all that, I'm excited to check this out. I think it's going to be a fantastic movie. It looks creepy as hell from the trailer, and I hope it holds on to that atmosphere and that tension.
I'll probably have Elizabeth read the book and then just tell you what happens and stuff. So
I also Mike Flanagan is directing it.
Oh yeah,
he's got a track record. He's got a pretty good track record so far.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So Maddy going? Not going?
I never go to the movies.
She doesn't go to the movies. Yeah,
right.
Sorry.
I will probably check it out on streaming if the reviews are good and if people that have the same ish taste in movies as me say it's good. I'd probably check it out. But.
Cool. Patrick going?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
Greg going?
Most definitely.
Cool. So Dr. Sleep, check it out. We'll drop that trailer on the Midnight Frights Facebook page. So everybody who has not seen that can check that out. But we will move on. Going into some horror news. Who's got news?
The what, Josh?
The horror news.
It's the news.
News.
We did decide that that's getting shorter and shorter every week, Maddy. So we have almost won the war on news.
I know. I'm willing to wait it out.
Who wants to start? Who's got good news? Who's got any news?
Who's got any news? I've got news.
Go.
From Bloody Disgusting and all over the internet. Halloween sequel reportedly filming this fall with October 2020 release planned. According to Bloody Disgusting, multiple sources have indicated that Blumhouse sequel will film this upcoming fall and that Universal will likely release the horror movie on October 16th, 2020.
So that was the news that I kind of saw a little while back. So I don't have any news, so I'm just going to kind of riff on that, Patrick. What are they going to do with this fucking movie?
I don't know.
It's not me being angry. Don't take this as me being angry, because I'm really not.
Shit on the side of a rock.
But what are they going to do with this movie? What else is there to do? There's nothing else they can do that you haven't. You've seen this movie.
I bet
you've seen the sequel.
Michael chases Lori.
Probably.
You think?
Probably. And her whole fucking family he's going to chase.
Yeah, because, the daughter and the granddaughter, they're still alive. And I'm sure he's a little pissed off at them.
Do you think he's going to wear a mask?
Yeah, probably. And now
hey, Josh. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't this the same movie where the original they came out and said that all the other sequels were null and void to the series?
But they are. So so they're not really.
So they're like completely going off on their own little magical path of we're going to screw this up even further.
Yeah, I mean, because if you look at the one that they gave us last year, and they told us to forget everything from the first movie to this one, they sure heavily relied on a lot of those movies for the content of those movies, of that movie.
Right.
And like the trap thing and Laurie's house was kind of cool. It's been out long enough. If you haven't seen it, sorry, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
And she burned that fucking thing down. So there's no more trap. So her whole life of planning out how to catch and kill him, she's burned that down now. And now they're going to make another one. So what are they going to do that anybody beyond just like, oh, cool, it's going to be fun to go see Michael Myers kill people again. What is the point?
Maybe they'll try every element in trying to kill him. So this time they'll try to drown him, and then the next time they're just going to cover him up with a bunch of dirt.
Yeah, they've done everything.
Well,
so
like the thing with, they've obviously made like 1,000 Freddy and 1,000 Jason movies, and they just kept getting kind of ridiculous until they got to Jason in space.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like you can do that with Michael Myers because he doesn't have that ridiculous campiness they do. So I don't think they can really go in that direction.
It had a $240 million box office gross, which is why they're doing another one. And I get that, but he's a horror icon. It's a cool character and they're fucking ruining it. So will I go see it? Yeah. But I mean, I will walk out of that theater and I'll walk onto this podcast and shit all over it like I did on the last one. So
you're like me with the Saw movies. Like I watch them come out with another one and I'm like, fuck you. And then I'm like, oh,
I'm going to go.
But it's going to be a $5 Tuesday for me. I'm not going to go pay, $15 to go see this movie.
For sure. So anyway, that was the one I did want to riff on. So Maddy, you got news?
Not really.
Okay, cool.
Runza has a new vegetarian sandwich.
I heard that.
Cool.
And for people outside of Nebraska, a Runza is a bread sandwich with meat and cabbage in it.
Yeah, if you come to Nebraska, go to Runza first. You won't regret it.
And it's really delicious.
You might regret it. I don't know. Greg, you got horror news?
It's kind of horror news, kind of not.
That's cool.
This is more just a article I wanted to comment on, maybe tangent on a little bit. From Bloody Disgusting, 20,000 people signed a petition asking Netflix to cancel Amazon-produced Good Omens to be gone, just to cancel it. I guess I already said that. So two things that I want to comment on here is, A, it's funny because it shows how crazy and stupid people can be when they want to protest something. Not only was this not researched by the initiators of the petition, but it was followed blindly by tens of thousands of people. nobody thought, hey, maybe we should check out and see what is going on with this at all. We're gonna sign a petition because some guy said, hey, this needs to go away. Really?
Did you happen to see that Netflix went ahead and canceled Good Omens, and then Amazon canceled Stranger Things?
I did not catch that part, but that is awesome.
That's funny.
I did see that in the news this morning.
So I don't understand people who like petition shit to be canceled. If you don't like it, it's like, just don't watch it. That's
exactly.
It's a super simple thing. Just don't watch the goddamn thing.
And that takes me to my second point of all this is, and this could actually make a really good topic for one of our casts, is what is the purpose of all these moviegoers signing petitions trying to get people to change their castings or cancel movies or cancel TV shows? What is the sole purpose of them doing this? Just like Maddy said, don't watch it if you're not happy with it.
Yeah.
Why are you putting yourself on a list of actual people who are saying, oh, I don't like this? Let it go. You don't have to protest all this garbage.
Yeah, as I said,
You're
just don't watch
wasting
it.
your own goddamn time.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine being that angry at something.
Right?
Like, I'd like to petition tonight's movie out of my head, but I'm not going to.
We'll get there. Don't you worry, Maddy. We'll get
there.
there.
Sign a petition.
Hey, real quick, too. I know it's not news, but I know we dropped it in the group, so I wanted to discuss it because we've all seen it. Did everybody watch that Stranger Things trailer that they dropped?
Yep, sure did.
Oh, I just want to see.
I have not yet, but I'm excited to check it out.
Please do. If you're a fan of Stranger Things and you have not seen that trailer, it is going to kill every single season that came before it. It is so good, and it makes it look like it's the last one. I don't know what you think, Patrick, but it makes it look like they're going to wrap it up with season 3.
I think they kind of have to wrap it up just because of the kids aging so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I'm sure these kids have got bigger projects
yeah,
in
for
the
sure.
pipeline.
Well, yeah, the one guy's in the It Chapter 2, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
I can't think. Finn Wolfhard is his name?
Yep.
Yeah, the funnier kid, I can't think of his name. He's on Broadway. He's doing something on Broadway right now. I mean, they're all busy.
Netflix seems to kind of cancel their shit after like 3 or 4 seasons anyway, so they kind of got to wrap it up.
That's kind of their model.
Anyway, I just wanted to throw Stranger Things out there because it's coming out here in 2 weeks. July 4th is when that's going to drop on Netflix. And I try my best not to binge watch that stuff, but this is going to be tough.
I still have never seen Stranger Things.
You don't like kids, so you probably should.
You
skip
probably
it.
would not like it then.
Well, I don't know. It just never really appealed to me like that aside anyway. And my boyfriend watched it, and so the first like 4 episodes were really slow.
Yeah.
And y'all know me. If
it
it's
takes
not,
a minute.
yeah, if it's not grabbing my balls right off the start, I really want nothing to do with it.
Gotcha. Cool. I guess that's going to wrap up the news then.
I actually had one more thing.
Oh, shit. We're not wrapped up. Go back into it.
Yeah, just really quick. Deadline.com has reported James Marsden appears to be the frontrunner for the role of Stu Redman in the upcoming CBS All Access adaptation of Stephen King's The Stand.
I have not seen an adaptation of that at
Really?
all. No, I've never, not one. So I should probably.
Stephen King is just raking it in.
Oh, he
this
totally
year.
is right now. Yeah.
He's having a moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's kind of on top of the world right now.
Yeah.
So
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah,
so
man.
I'm gonna follow this. I think he's probably a pretty good choice for that role. The Stand's one of my favorite books. I think they really kind of screwed the pooch on the original miniseries. There was some parts that I liked on it, but there were some casting issues that had issues and some other things. So.
they've done that a couple of times, haven't they? The Stand? Maybe not. I thought
it
they've
was
done
just
twice.
the one. Was it?
Okay.
I would have to double check because I was thinking it was just the one.
No big deal. I probably don't know. I'll just admit that I might have just guessed on that one. I thought they'd done it twice though.
That was the 94 miniseries.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember having to like rent it on 4 VHS tapes.
Yeah. Is that going to wrap up the news then?
That's it.
Okay, Greg and Patrick, take us out.
That was the news.
Cool. So let's chat about, I know it's been only like a week or so since we've kind of cast the last time, so not a lot of time in between, but who's been watching stuff and things?
So Emily and I went out yesterday morning and we caught the new Toy Story 4 movie. I know it's not horror related, but it was still worth mentioning. Really, really surprised and very pleased with how this one turned out. It's a great family film. Definitely go out and check it out, and hopefully they will follow their lead and not continue on with any further. They need to move on to something different and be original.
Weird.
Maddy?
I've actually been having a Stephen King moment too, and I watch Apt Pupil. Thanks to Patrick, I will return that to you. I'm sorry. And then I watched The Green Mile the other night again because I just felt the need to cry like a bitch, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
What did you think of Apt Pupil?
You know, if I hadn't read the book, I probably would have really liked it. But, like, Apt Pupil is one of my favorite Stephen King stories, and they just strayed so far from the story that it pissed me off.
Is that a short story?
Yeah.
Okay, so was it hard to get a feature stretched out of that?
No, you
I don't think
could-
so.
Yeah, I actually, overall, I prefer Stephen King's shorter stories. I think
Gotcha.
he really excels doing short stories, and most of the stories that I like from him are his shorter ones. Surprise, surprise. But I don't know, they just strayed way too far from it. But really good performances from Ian McKellen and what's the guy's name? Brad Renfro? Something like that.
Renfro?
Renfro.
Right, yeah, Renfro. Yeah, it was fine.
Cool. Anything else?
I've been watching cult documentaries again, and then I
cool.
found this really cool show on Animal Planet about people who keep exotic pets and then they eat them. Like the exotic pets eat the people, and it's fucking fantastic. It's called Fatal Attractions. It's on Prime, and it's just great.
Cool. Hey, Greg, did you have anything else? I kind of just railroaded you. I apologize.
No, I had the one. I've been kind of picking and choosing through Netflix, and Emily's been trucking her way through Game of Thrones. So I've been watching that with her. So nothing really
cool.
worth mentioning though.
Cool. Patrick?
Well, because I've been sitting at home the past few days just trying to pass a fucking stone, I've had some time to watch a couple things, mostly on Netflix. Murder Mystery with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of what you expected.
Yeah.
It wasn't, laugh out loud funny, but it wasn't horrible. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, it wasn't stupid. Like
Yeah.
a few of his.
There's been a shit ton of people watching that though.
That's what they're reporting, and it's interesting because Netflix doesn't normally report how many people watch their shows, but I think they're feeling pressure to do it now since there's more competition in the streaming area.
I feel like Adam
Sure.
Sandler's found his new market.
Yeah.
That it's not studio films anymore. He's just going to go straight to drop all my shit on Netflix.
Yeah, I agree with that. I caught one called Always My Maybe. You can avoid that one.
Oh, yeah.
Greg, I watched Wine Country from your
What'd you think?
From your recommendation. No, I liked it. I thought it was a good movie.
What was it about?
It's Amy Poehler and her group of friends got together for a ladies' weekend in wine country.
Okay, I heard the word wine and it just perked up my attention.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. A movie called Then Came You, and this is one that if you like good, what's the word I'm looking for? Because it's not necessarily a feel-good movie, but it is a feel-good movie about a young man who's a hypochondriac, ends up becoming best friends with a young lady who is dying of cancer, and they have this like incredible bond. It's really, really touching movie, and I totally recommend this one. Both the young actor, actress are really good. In fact, the actress plays Arya Stark in Game of Thrones. I did catch the perfection, finally, while not vomit-inducing like they keep advertising it. It was still a really good movie and hit some things that I didn't quite expect as I was watching it. I caught another movie called The Vault with James Franco, which is about a bank robbery gone bad with all this supernatural stuff thrown on top. I recommend that one because it has twists and turns that you don't expect.
Oh, The Vault?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
And then finally, another Stephen King, 1922 on Netflix. It's kind of a slower movie, but still they kept true to the story, I felt. And it was just a really good watch.
That was on my top 10 from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Most of the lines in that, because I read that book way too much, are like word for word from the book. It's so good.
Yeah. No. So that's what I've been watching.
Cool. Yeah, real quick, I'll just bang through my list. Anybody seen True Detective? Has anybody watched that?
I've not seen that series
True
yet.
Detective is fantastic. And so...
Do they change their cast every season?
They do. So Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey were in season 1. Season 2 had Vince Vaughn and Colin Farrell. And although they were fantastic in their roles, season 2 was really, really, really terrible. It was really hard to keep with it. They had a lot of different stories going in different directions. The season 1, they had a format that they stuck with, and I wish they would have stuck with that format going into season 2. I think they know that they strayed too far, so I think they went back to that format in season 3. And season 4, I think they're going to be working on here soon. But True Detective in general is really fantastic. And if you have not seen it, you should watch that. So my wife and I wrapped up season 2 of that. I had a really cool experience this weekend watching movies or a movie. My wife just finished reading Stephen King's It. So we wanted to go back and watch the miniseries because she wanted to see how close that was to the book. So I watched that with my wife, and my 10-year-old daughter joined us.
Oh my God.
So Emma watched the entire 3-hour cut of the 1990s Stephen King It, and it was a really fun experience.
Wow.
So
Oh my God.
no nightmares, nothing too terrible has come from it yet, but she asked to watch it. I talked to her mom about what she thought, and she was like, well, how old were you when you saw it? And I was like, I was about 10. So she was like, I mean, that's fair. So I told her she could watch it, and I was like, she's going to get to that one scene where Georgie goes to the sewer.
You bet.
She's going to fucking bail, and she's stuck in there. So I was pretty proud of her. That was a nice, proud dad moment there. And then I wrapped up last night I watched a movie called Bloody Bloody Bible Camp. And I'm so I'm so happy I watched it. It's like, it's not great, but it knows what it was. It was a movie that made fun of 80s slasher nunsploitation movies. It knew exactly what it was. It did not try to pretend it was something great. The acting was terrible. The effects were terrible, but on purpose. It knew 100% what it wanted to be. That is on Prime, and it's only it's short, like an hour, maybe 25. It's quick.
Oh, you're selling me.
Yeah,
and,
say that name again.
It's called Bloody Bloody Bible Camp. And
and say it was short again. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's quick. It's quick on time. It might not be quick on pace, but it's quick on time. So that's on Amazon Prime. If anybody came, look, I would never go chase people and say, watch this movie. But if somebody came up to me and said, hey, have you seen this movie? I would not tell them not to watch it. So that was my list for what we've been watching. Cool. Everybody cool?
Yeah.
All right. So this topic will be interesting today because today we did a topic on the fly. Basically, it was like, who's got a topic? Because we got nothing. That was a couple hours ago. So we came up with, I'm not going to say we because this might be a shitty topic. So I'll take the shit for this one. That was me. Guilty. It was horror villain matchups. So basically, who you would like to see kind of go against each other, I guess, in a horror film. We're going to try our best to not just do a list. I think we're going to try to get a discussion going.
Right.
But for me, I wrote a list.
I was going to say I wrote a list.
I
have a list as well, but I think it's one of those things you throw it out and then you discuss it.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
So it's not just a list type thing, because it fits in. We got Freddy versus Jason. We've got Alien versus Predator. We've already got these things. And even for today's feature with Sadako versus Kayako.
Yeah.
The topic does fit into the entire stream.
Yeah. So, Greg, do you have anything written down?
I do.
Okay, cool. So we'll roundtable because that's what we do. So I guess I don't know who wants. I can start this shit if you want me to. It's my fault. So I did kind of a weird thing because I was like, who do I want to see fight each other? But I kind of went the celebrity deathmatch route. Who would I want to put in a ring and to see tear each other apart? But I also tried to stick with who fits in whose universe.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
So the first one I threw out was I would like to see Chucky and Leprechaun go toe to toe.
Okay, you took my second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same height, same weight, same attitude problem. But I think in that universe, magic beats metal. So for me, I would pick Leprechaun. But I don't know.
Have you seen the new Chucky yet?
I have not.
The new AI Chucky may be able to beat Leprechaun.
Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
I don't know. When it came to the actual franchises too, I enjoyed the Leprechaun series more than I enjoyed Child's Play. But I just think that when it comes down to putting these two in the middle of a street in Las Vegas and watching them go toe to toe, I think Leprechaun would tear the shit out of Chucky.
When I was a kid, I would go to my grandfather's house every other Sunday, something like that. When we would get there, he'd be watching professional wrestling, but there was always a segment on midget wrestling.
Oh,
That we just sat there and enjoyed like nobody's business. And that, that's why I thought of Leprechaun versus Chucky as well, because I could just see, throw them in the ring with their tights on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought that would be pretty funny to see.
I think that'd be entertaining, yeah.
Would Chucky get Tiffany as an assist, like tag team it?
Yeah, Leprechaun doesn't get anybody to tag in, but it'd be kind of funny to watch.
No, but she'd be standing in his corner and stuff,
Yeah.
Cheering him on and everything.
Like the valet. Like the history of the valets when in the 80s and stuff. I don't know. I thought that would be kind of... I think that they could build, a movie around those two. I don't know how they fit. That was probably the most off universe I had written down, but I wouldn't mind seeing them try to figure it out.
And their costumes totally fit into the whole midget wrestling thing as well, because they have their personas and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So that would
true.
totally
Also,
work
yeah.
there.
I had actually said Chucky versus Puppet Master, not Chucky
That's
versus...
my first
Oh
one.
my
God
God,
dang it.
yes!
So you have Chucky versus Puppet Master?
Yeah, I had Chucky versus
Why?
Puppet
So
Master.
why Puppet Master?
They're both toys. I thought
Okay.
that would tie in
Yep,
better, and Puppet Master kind of has some sarcastic, funny bullshit in it,
Yeah.
just like Chucky would, and I just thought it would be hilarious to see them shit talking each other.
Yeah, that'd be a comedy horror.
Yeah, that would be a horror comedy.
Yeah,
There's
for sure.
Let's be honest, everything we're throwing out today
It'd
would be
be
a
a
horror
Pretty much,
comedy.
yeah, right,
Yeah, there's no seriousness in this shit.
Yeah.
I guess we took a bunch of yours, Patrick, but you want to throw one out anyway?
Well, I had my third one, and I was thinking more along the lines of the Battle Royale. And I threw out Frankenstein's Army versus the Cenobites.
Yes!
Okay, I love that you threw out a group. I thought,
Yeah.
'cause I got one, and I wasn't sure if that was going to be cheating or not. So,
Oh, I don't think so. That's why I was thinking more along the lines of that Battle
Yeah, that'd be
Royale
cool.
where everybody's in the ring at one
That would
time.
be so
yeah, that'd be fun.
But they're similar characters in a way, except one's from, the demonic strains of hell or whatever that is, and the other one's just pieced together from body parts and everything else. So, but I just thought that would be an interesting thing as a battle royale.
That'd be super fun, yeah.
so fun. Hell yeah.
Greg, what do you got?
So my first one, I tried to dig pretty deep on some of these horror icons here. And the first one I came up with was 1931's Dracula versus Nosferatu.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. I'm feeling like Nosferatu would give Dracula a pretty decent beating, but Dracula would come out on top.
What if you did a battle royale with every Dracula from 1931
And see,
to
that was
2003?
one thing that I thought, because I wanted to throw the Christopher Lee Draculas in there too. It would be tough to call who would win that, just because of, you'd throw Gary Oldman in there, you'd throw in, I think Gerard Butler was one of the Draculas at one point, and then Luke Evans. There's a lot of different variables that could really throw that into a loop.
That'd be fun though.
Cool. Yeah, my second one was kind of boring. I'll be really honest with you. They've already made this movie. It was a fan film. They made Michael versus Jason. We already got Jason versus Freddy. You love that movie. But they made a fan film. They made a fan film already about Michael versus Jason and how that would fit together. And they built a really cool universe. I think it's on YouTube. If you think you can go look for it and find it. I think, if I remember right, Jason tore Michael a new asshole. But it was a cool fight. It was again, two giant icons, two big guys went toe-to-toe, and
I'll have to check the YouTube out, because that seems to be a really boring movie, because neither of them speaks and they both just kind of stand there silently in a mask. So I'm just picturing them face off, just total dead silent blank stare at each other. I don't know.
But yeah, so Jason versus Freddy, they had a point together. They had a point for fighting, kind of for what they were fighting for, and it doesn't really fit Jason versus Michael.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see two big guys go toe to toe and not back down. So that was kind of my my boring one on my list, but I thought it was at least worth mentioning. What do you got, Maddy?
I said American Psycho versus American Mary. I thought that'd be a fun one.
Ooh,
It would be
I like that one.
It would be a total Saw-ish mind game thing, but I thought that would be really fun. And it's both of them I thought were more realistic horror
for sure.
movies. They weren't monster movies, so that's why I put those two together, because I thought it'd be fun. I bet they end up fucking, but that'd be fun.
That's probably true also.
While they're stabbing each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're using that blood as a lubricant.
Pat, what do you got? Patrick, what do you got?
Well, like blood's never been a lubricant before.
Okay, let's.
What movie are we going to watch,
What?
Patrick? What are we doing?
I don't have any more on my list. So
Okay, cool.
what if we get to that point where we don't have any more on the lists, like throw out a name and then we could say like who we could see go up against them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll bang through our list really fast and just see what we can get through.
So keep going.
Greg.
So my next one, I'm debating on who I want to pin up as the adversary. I wanted to throw Norman Bates in as one, and I'm trying to toss up between Mrs. Voorhees and Jason.
Okay.
It's going to be a battle of the moms, or the mama's boys almost.
Okay, yeah, that works. Probably Jason, because if you're doing a...
But that would be such like a quick fight because Norman Bates is just a mortal person, so like he'd just come up and I mean, cool idea, but that would kind of be a 1-2 punch thing. 1-2
punch, knockout, done. I would like to see Art the Clown go against Pennywise.
Yeah,
just because I want to be taking the clown down. I don't really know how that would work, to be honest with you.
Oh, it'd be beautiful.
But I think again, if you're talking about universes, seeing both of those characters land in the same town, shit would happen. Bad stuff would happen.
Can we call it the Clown Town Throwdown?
You can call it whatever you want to, but I think those two going against each other would be a whole ton of fun and just make kind of a cool movie. So, said who doesn't like clowns, Greg? So, yeah, that's mine.
I said I wanted Freddy and Jason to tag team against Pinhead. I think that would be a ton of fun.
If you gave Pinhead a partner.
Okay, Pinhead needs a partner. Who could be his partner?
Who goes with Pinhead?
I mean, he's got the Cenobites.
That's true.
He's got an entourage.
That's true.
He's got a backup band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be fine.
Cool.
I think he'd be fine by himself, but...
Greg, you got another one that I didn't take?
Since you stole my Art the Clown versus Pennywise,
sorry, man.
Art the Clown would totally tear him a new one.
You think?
I think so.
I disagree with that.
I think I chose Pennywise.
Well, I think it would depend on what we're going to see in the next Terrifier, because like we don't really know if Art the Clown has a paranormal, supernatural side to him.
We can assume that he's immortal.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's what would give Pennywise the edge, is he has like a supernatural side of him. But like if Art the Clown has some magical bullshit, I think that would be a fair fight.
Okay, cool. Go, Greg.
So my last one here, I had Gage Creed from Pet Sematary versus Sam from Trick or Treat.
That's so cute.
From somebody who hates kids, Maddy, would you still watch that movie?
I would, because I love Sam. He's one of my favorite horror characters.
Gage, I don't know how he would come out on that one. Or, I mean, He
would probably get tossed. I'm sure Sam would win it, but just for the fact of two kitty-style icons going up against each other. And, hell, if you wanted to go Royal Rumble in there, you could throw Chucky in there, too. And
Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Sam would probably win that one.
Yeah, I think so. I think Sam would kick some ass.
Yeah, I only have one more. What does everybody else have?
Just one more.
Cool. Greg?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, cool. The only other one I have, and this is a movie that no fucking joke I would actually go see. I would go see the Odette family fight the Sawyers. And this is why. It's Wrong Turn versus the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay.
And I would 100% think that these guys would not even fucking fight each other, that they would find every teenager in town, rip their asses apart, and then go eat a turkey dinner together. Because they are one. They are the same people. They're the same thing. I don't think it's a, only one cannibal family can live in this town kind of group of people. I think the Sawyers and the Odettes would get along together wonderfully.
You could throw the family from Frontiers in, too.
Yeah, that's what I was just
some extended
suggest.
family.
Yeah. So, and if you had to sit there and, make these guys fight each other, I think this would be a fun fucking fight, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody would take down Leatherface. But the Sawyers they're psychotic, but minus Leatherface, they didn't have a lot of muscle. Every Odette hillbilly is crazy. It'd be a fight, but I think it'd be a fun fight to watch. That was my last one.
My last one I kind of struggled with, but I just think this would be fun. I said Pyramid Head versus fucking everyone. Just, he's such a huge, massive character, and I think it would be so fun to just watch him, like, rip through everything. That would be great. I'd be a happy girl.
Pyramid Head. Why do I not?
I don't know that.
I don't
Silent Hill.
Oh,
Silent
that's
Hill,
why I
yeah.
don't know it. Because,
I still don't.
Yeah, Silent Hill. I did not.
I quit. I quit this fucking podcast.
All
I'm
right.
kidding.
I did not see Silent Hill. I missed it.
So fun.
Greg.
Yeah, I actually just thought of another one here. The Firefly family from House of a Thousand Corpses
Okay.
versus the family from Last Shift.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yep. I think families would be. I think you can take any family really and kind of throw them against each other in some way, shape, or form, and it would make for a kind of a fun film, depending on how they did it. Sure as shit can't be any worse than our feature film tonight. So
Thank you for admitting it.
you're off. I won't try to dance around it. So do you guys want to keep throwing out people or
Well, one name that I wanted to throw out, just because I couldn't quite place anybody to go up against him, is Candyman.
Yeah, I was thinking about him earlier too, and I had no idea who
Yeah, I couldn't.
Candyman.
we would throw in there against him that would make any sense.
The guy.
What about like the from Jeepers Creepers? Maybe.
the Creeper would be-
Creeper was
Yeah,
on
the
the list.
creeper
Yeah.
would be fun. That guy from I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't know.
Oh, that
Oh,
would
the
be
Hook?
perfect. Yeah.
Is that the Fisherman?
yeah, the
Yeah,
fisherman
that
or
makes-
something.
that would make the most sense.
Some hot garbage or whatever. It was.
Some hot garbage. But again, Hook for Hook, I think that would be a cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That would make the most sense if you're building a universe and a film and characters. That would make the most sense.
See that's the thing, is making sense of overlapping. Yeah, because that was one of my criticisms of the movie that we're going to review in a little
Yeah,
bit.
for sure.
Is you got to make sense of that universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because like, did any of you guys ever see Dahmer versus Gacy?
No,
It's like
I missed that one.
the biggest garbage ass movie I've ever seen in my life, and you can like tell they made the movie for like $5 and some change. But like they tried to like resurrect these two guys to be super soldiers, and then they got out and started like fighting each other, and it was just like it was such hot garbage. And like I would recommend watching it if you were like tanked. Maybe you need to be like a shot away from death, and then you can watch
and then
it.
think about watching it.
Yeah, and then think about
I'm looking at
watching
pictures from it right now.
What do you mean? It got a 2.5 on IMDb scores.
Oh shit, son! So bad.
Just that one picture looks fucking
Let me
stupid.
see. Yeah, there's no saving.
I
that.
have to at least watch the trailer later on.
Yeah,
All right.
it's bad.
Cool. Yeah, we'll just move on to the feature. If everybody's done with their matchups. The topic made sense for what we're about to dive into. But yes, we're tonight's feature, we watched Sadako versus Kayako. You're welcome, everybody. I'm going to sit over here and hang my head while Patrick gives us the deeds.
Sadako versus Kayako. 2016, running 98 minutes, now showing on Shudder. The vengeful spirits of The Ring and The Grudge series face off. That was the best description I could find of this movie.
Really?
IMDb rating 5.1. Metacritic score not available. Rotten Tomato critics rating 47%. And Rotten Tomato audience score 30%.
Yeah, it's rough. That's rough.
Yeah.
Back to doing research before we pick movies.
But I agree with you, what you had said in the message group. You're a fan of both of the movies.
Yeah.
And since you had not seen this before, it piqued your interest on how they would do it.
100%. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's 100% the reason why I chose the film in the first place. I'll be really honest with you. I listened to other podcasts, and Shockwaves is one of my favorite podcasts, and they talked about this movie on that, and it did not get a terrible review from those guys. So, and like I said, I'm a fan of both of these worlds. I loved The Ring. I loved The Grudge, Ringu. And to be curious as to how they would bring those two together is what kind of made me go this route. But I will apologize in advance to everybody that sat through the 98 minutes of trying to figure out this fucking movie, just in general. But I'll let Maddy start.
Why me?
Because you've been very vocal about how much you
Love
hate
this
my
movie.
guts right now.
No,
So-
like I would have been, as I said in the chat, I would have been more mad if you watched it and then we're like, hey, everybody watch this. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I knew you were mad about Begotten, but not this mad.
Yeah.
I didn't 45-minute rule this movie.
You finish it?
No, I I watched an hour of it and then I left it running and went to the grocery store and my cat finished it.
Oh, cool.
So, and she probably enjoyed it more than I did. I had no fucking clue what was going on in this movie, like
Okay.
literally at all, except for
Did you have the subtitles turned on?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did,
Were
yeah.
they in English?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Were they explaining what was going on?
Not really.
Oh, okay, good. I was sitting there, I was like, am I stupid? Like, because I was just, the hour that I watched, I was just like not getting it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I rarely throw one word explanations out, but this movie was just stupid. It was just stupid. Like, the acting was horrible. It was so over the top. I felt like I was watching like a theatrical production in hell. And I didn't understand how they were like drawing these two characters.
If you would have finished it, you would have figured out how they tied it together.
Oh, well, excuse
you have
me.
To, you have to watch that last 40 minutes.
No,
to kind of
you know
figure
what?
it out.
I'm okay.
But even at that, tying it together was rough.
It was. You're
rough.
right. But I mean, they did it.
yeah, I'm sure. Like, I figured at some point they probably, you know,
Yeah.
made an attempt to like draw it together. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know, if you were gonna pit two characters against each other, I can see kind of why these would make sense.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why someone made this movie, but yeah, it was rough.
Bad.
It was pretty rough watching it.
Yeah.
I'm not angry, but I would have been angry if I had to like pay $3.99 to watch it. I would fly to Japan and shake the money out of somebody, but yeah, this was not a favorite that you've
That's okay.
picked of mine, and I feel
Look-
bad because I feel like I like 45-minuted like your last pick too.
I'm pretty sure you 45 minutes did 90% of my picks, but it's cool. It's okay. It's just, this is how life goes. I got a couple coming up that maybe I'll redeem myself. Patrick, what did you think?
First of all, I was really disappointed that they took this route because it's not like Japanese cinema to do sequels like this. This is a very American thing for them to do, to throw a versus, to get these entities to collide. So I was a little disappointed that they did that. But like Josh, I was intrigued to see how they did it because I'm a fan of the original movies.
Yeah.
I think they're very good. I think they are actually somewhat superior to the American versions of those movies. With that said, it felt like it was two different films competing with each other to see who can get the most screen time until they figured out the worst possible way to bring them together.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Sadako, that the entity was all hair, because that's what that's what they kind of implied, because that's how he captured it. It was the hair that came out of her mouth. He put it in a bag, and then later on, the way they connected the two together was he flung a bag of hair
into the
house, and the hair crawled up and attacked Kayako.
Yeah.
No.
That was
Aren't you glad
that
you
was the
didn't finish
only
it, Maddy?
way that it brought the entities together, and I was so disappointed in how that happened. And then from that point on, it was just a CGI shitstorm of other crap trying to make sense of these two fighting because they never really fought.
Yeah. I mean,
they did fight,
Kind of.
but why did they fight? There was no reason for them to fight. And then when they ran into each other and exploded into whatever that was, and then melded into one character.
That was fucking terrible.
Oh my god. So what I missed is someone threw the contents of my shower drain into a haunted house and then it exploded.
Well, the contents attacked her, and that's what started them fighting.
Yeah.
But then later on there was something that happened that they ran into each other really hard and melded together. It was
I will tell you though that Kayako has the most terrifying noise that she makes ever.
Yeah.
That noise still bothers me.
Yeah.
And Toshio, that meowing kid, is still very kind
He's
of
creepy.
creepy.
Yeah.
So character-wise, they do build some characters that are.
What noise is that?
It's that back of the throat, like
That,
I can't do it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna
thing
figure
that
out
she
how
does.
to do that.
Yeah, it's fucking creepy. Sorry, Patrick, I jumped on your.
No, not at all. I think that was like the extent of my notes. I just could not get into this. And Greg, did you notice how bad our subtitles are? Greg and I shared the same version of this movie with the same subtitles.
I kind of fell asleep a couple times, so I really kind of stopped paying attention to the subtitles.
I'm good. Then I will mention the subtitles. Okay, you know the part of the movie where the woman is trying to exorcise Natsumi, I think that was her name. She was trying to do an exorcism.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And she was chanting prior to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the subtitles that were given in our version, Greg, and I encourage you to go back and check it, was Expelliarmus, Expecto Patronum,
No fucking
Paloma
way.
Mora.
Avada Kedavra was in there.
and Avada Kedavra was in there.
My
I
God.
remember waking up and I saw Avada Kedavra and I thought, what the fuck is happening?
And I was there going, someone is fucking with me when they did the subtitles for this movie.
I did stay long enough to
awesome.
watch.
So I'm curious to know what the subtitles actually were in the versions you guys saw.
I didn't even pay attention, honestly, because at that point, I think I got up and went to the store. But that part made no sense to me either. I'm like, the videotape is possessed, not her. You go to like an exorcist.
Yeah, I agree with you on
You're
that.
talking about when she's making her drink the water.
Drink the water. and
All
the
she's
other
saying is that part. All she's saying is drink the water. You have to
right,
drink
but
the
it was
water.
all the chanting prior to that.
Okay,
she
yeah,
was
I
doing all
remember.
this chanting
Yeah, okay.
right up to that point.
No idea. What
Yeah,
the
as
fuck
I
she's
said,
saying.
I was like, no, I mean,
it's like you're using Harry Potter references here.
Yeah,
What?
that would have made. As far as I'm concerned, that would have made the movie better if I would have gotten some Harry Potter
God,
references.
yeah.
I just started laughing out loud when I saw that, and I mean, obviously, because the version that I got had no subtitles, so I went to the subtitle archives and got one for English and dropped it in, and it was making sense all the way through. It was matching the actions and what they were doing and everything else. But when it got to that point, oh man, please.
Wow.
Well, like, I know on YouTube there's been some issues because, like, content creators, they can let people put subtitles on it, and that's caused some issues before because some people just go on there and are fucking dicks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, which if I was creating the subtitles for this movie, I'd probably...
Fuck
You'd
with it,
probably
too.
just get, like, an A, just, like, a continuous A, as I'm just, like, sitting there like
Yeah.
that.
Greg, from what you did see, you want to let us know what you thought?
Absolutely. Josh, again, I just like Maddy said, I don't fault you at all for watching this.
Nobody has to start with my name.
making
This
this
is
movie.
okay. I've accepted that I picked
No.
the
I
shitty
don't
one.
fault you at all for this because I agree with you when you said that this was the Ringu and Shuan ghosts fighting each other, some sort of grudge match, no pun intended.
Yeah.
It sounds interesting, and I was a fan of The Ring. I wasn't a huge fan of The Grudge, but I know it has some merit in that realm. This is definitely a horror movie fan service film, so that's why I don't think it really panned out as well as it could have, because the directors were smashing these two icons together and hoping that something good came out on the back end. Spoiler, it didn't. One thing I will maintain is that Japanese horror are some of the creepiest horror movies that have ever been made. There was some fantastic imagery in this. The cinematography was great. The tension and the creepiness when the ghosts and the creatures were moving around the house towards the end there were really, really well done. I wish I had cared about the story up until that point. The substance of the story was weak, and I didn't care about the characters. I was really just kind of waiting to see how they were going to smash these two icons together, and it really didn't do much for me. So that's what I got.
Cool.
That's one. Go ahead,
No,
Maddie.
I was going to say, I think, no offense, Josh, but going into this, I kind of had a bad
I'm
attitude.
not
about-
offended.
I know, figured you weren't, but like I kind of had a bad attitude about it because I actually am not a fan of Japanese horror.
No.
I think it's a little too ridiculous for me, and I know that sounds silly coming from someone who, like, every other cast is like, let's watch Freddy versus Jason again. But I don't know, it's silly. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something in like every Japanese horror movie I've seen that's just, and I don't like to,
Yeah.
I haven't seen a ton of them, so I'm not going to generalize their entire horror category, but there's just something in them that I just, like in the more popular ones that, I don't know, just irritates me. It's just, as I said, it's more theatrical than I really want to watch. and it's just silly. And all the monsters, as I said, what is the fucking obsession with all the monsters being just a hairball? Like,
yeah, for sure.
I don't know, it just bugs me.
So, Maddy, I know you do enjoy foreign horror movies. What would be your go-to country of origin for horror movies?
Did you say porn movies or foreign?
Horror.
Well,
foreign.
Answer both, Maddy.
Yeah.
Oh, foreign. I'm sorry.
I love French horror. I think hands down the French, from what I've seen, have just they're so good. They're so good. And they just kind of like, they go over a line that's not appropriate, and it's so fantastic. So I definitely love French horror.
Yeah. And then foreign porn also.
I don't watch a lot of that. I kind of like your good old classic American spank bank.
Cool.
Wow. And Josh, I just want to say this is of no fault of yours, but
we're going to take you out back and beat you after this.
My plan is to start everything I'm going to say now with Josh.
Look, Josh, I don't want to fault you for this, but
No, actually, I'm just jumping back on something Greg had said. Is you're talking about one of the great things about Asian horror is their ability to create creepy imagery. And that's what I thought was really good up to 3/4 of this movie, because they do everything in practical effects, which I think is the most awesome thing. They really create that tension. They create the creepiness. Everything else is practical effects. And then we got to the end and they threw in all that weird CGI that was just bad CGI.
it was really bad.
And that really disappointed me.
So I, in no way, shape, or form can even like attempt to defend this movie or tell anybody that they're wrong. So, Josh, I hate to tell you this, but here we go. Look, I still love the characters by themselves. I still love The Ring. I still love The Grudge. I still love Ringu and Juon. I still love those movies. But I didn't think this was a character or even like an acting issue. I thought this was a straight like story writing issue that they just did not know. They had this great idea and did not know how to put it together. I think if they would have, with this idea done right, it could have been okay. Not good, but not as bad as it was. And I don't know if it was rushed, or I don't know if they just like thought, I got this great idea and then didn't know how to actually come through with that idea. I don't know, but I think, look, here's the thing. We're gonna fucking take that idea here, give it maybe a year. You're gonna see that here in America. They're gonna remake that movie and do something else with it. I just think that's what we do. So the only other thing that I didn't like about this movie was that anybody that saw this movie was already a fan of those other two movies separately. So I don't think you needed the retelling of who these characters were. And I thought that was like 80% of the movie that you got was, here is why Sadako is where she comes from, and the tape, and if you watch the tape, you're cursed. And here's that whole story over again. And here's Kayako, and here's, if you go into this house, this is what happens, and that you're going to run into Toshio, and it's this story all over again. That was 80% of the movie, and the last 20% of the movie was, I'm going to just throw this bag of hair in the house, and let's see how it goes. So I don't think, minus retelling this whole fucking story over again, they had no movie at all whatsoever. You're right, the CG at the end where they clashed together and then they fell into the well. I was like, I mean, I know the well reference. Spoiler, they pop back out of the well. There's no ending to this fucking movie.
There is no.
It doesn't end. It's just they get tossed into a well and then they blast back out of the well, and then the girl's like, "Oh shit!" and then it's over. I don't know. I can't. There's no, like I said, there's no defending myself. I can't.
That's fine.
And nor will I even try to. The movie does not deserve defending. It was bad.
And the new characters that they introduced was the one guy that had magical powers that was able to do stuff, and then his little sidekick, the blind short round. And it just didn't work at all in this, because it came out of nowhere that in the original movies, there was no characters like that.
No, not at all.
That was able to ward off the evil or anything like that, especially with a wave of his hand. You know, there was nothing like that in the original movies.
You were just fucked.
Yeah. So to see him and his sidekick there in this movie just really took me even more out of it.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I did like in this movie, and I can't remember if I've seen the original like Japanese version of The Ring or not, or if I've just seen the American one.
Yeah.
But I did like that the video made them like kill themselves as opposed to like in The Ring where they're like just... Or am I mixing movies up?
No, you're right. But that girl was choosing to kill herself because she didn't want to be killed by the curse.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
that must have been something.
Yeah, that's 100% why she was trying to hang herself from that door.
Well, but like all the people before like killed themselves instead of just like...
No, I'm pretty sure Sadako killed them. It's just a look. You look into her eye, and then you get that weird look on your face, and you die.
Oh, okay.
That's literally how it goes down.
And did they change the lore just a little bit? Wasn't it 7 days?
It was 7 days.
Okay.
They couldn't drag this out to 7 days.
No.
They're like, no, you got 48 hours.
Yeah.
That is something like... Cause
I felt like I was watching it for 48 hours.
Right.
Same. That is something, though, that always kind of, like, weirds me out because I go to a lot of, like, thrift stores and shit, and every time I buy something, I'm like, please, God, don't be possessed. That would just be my fucking luck.
But, so there, I mean, I don't know. Unless anybody has anything else to say about this this steaming pile of oops, then let's just rate this thing and move on with life.
So we rate our movies on the gore score, the fear factor, and our overall rating, and would you refer it to a friend? We're gonna start with Josh because this was his movie.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
What are we starting with?
Gore score.
Yeah, it's because I can't give anything a 0. I give things a 1. Maddy.
I don't recall seeing any blood in this movie like at all. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it like 0.51.
Greg.
So there was a couple gorier scenes. I use that very, very loosely. There was the gal who committed suicide towards the beginning. So I'll give it a 2 because there was a little bit of blood, but overall it wasn't a very gory movie.
Cool. Patrick?
Yeah, I gotta go with the 1 rating. The only other things that I can think of besides that pool of blood that happened was during the exorcism when the people snapped their necks.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But even that, it was done at such extreme angles that it wasn't even remotely realistic. And when she headbutted the one instructor and his face went flat.
That was fucking weird.
That was weird. So yeah, I can only give this a 1.
Yeah, cool.
So then we move on to the fear factor.
Yeah. Again, here's, like I said, was it scary? No. But there's some spots in there that I will give it a 3. That was a sit. I'm going to sit at the 3. Go ahead, Maddy.
1.
Greg, no explanation needed. This is a 1.
I would give it a 4, mostly for the like the final 15 minutes, especially when the one girl, I can't remember which one it was crawling down the stairs.
That's Kayako.
That was probably one of the more creepy scenes of that. So I would sit confidently with a 4.
That's a contortionist too. Playing that character.
And it's not the same actress from the original.
Is it not?
Juan. Yeah.
So, but that girl is twisting her body
to
create that effect. That's not CGI shit right there.
Yep. That's why, once again, disappointed by that. For me, I would say the fear factor for the original Ringu and Juan would have been a lot higher than what I'm rating this one because they didn't do anything new in this one. In fact, I thought it was less. So I'm giving this a really low rating of 1.
Cool. Let's wrap it up.
Then that is the overall rating, and would you recommend it to a friend?
I'm going to go with a 2, and I'm going to go with... Look, here's the thing. If you're a fan of Juan and the Ringu, yes, I would tell people to watch it. Just because I think that everybody should feed their curiosity on how they kind of bring those together. But outside of that, I wouldn't tell anybody to chase this shit ever. Go ahead, Maddy.
I'd give it a 1, and the only reason I would recommend this to someone is if I like hated them, like they raped my dog and shot my sister.
Wow.
Like I would maybe recommend it.
Raped your dog? Cool. Greg.
I will give it a 1 and a no. I would not recommend it, even to fans of the series. No.
Go ahead, Patrick.
I'm going to give it a 2, possibly 3. And would I recommend it? I would recommend it only with an explanation.
For sure.
Yeah, I could see, as you said, like, if somebody was a fan of those original two, yeah.
If someone were to ask me, have you seen this movie and would you recommend it? I'd say, well, I saw that movie. This is what I thought of it. And if that's still, if you still want to see it after that, you go right ahead.
Yeah, cool. Let's wrap this shit up with plugs. Maddy, you got a plug?
No, I don't.
Gregory, you got a plug?
I am Greg the Movie Guy, and I am positively writing movie reviews over at gregthemovieguy.com.
Cool. Yeah, if you are a Nebraska filmmaker, go and check out the Film Freeway page for the Prairie Lights Film Festival. They are still taking stuff, and we're still watching stuff. So submit if you have something. If you have a short, a feature, a music video, submit something. We want to see it, and then watch you check it out on the big screen at Prairie Lights Film Festival in October. That's my plug.
All right. Well, I'm going to make ours short and sweet. Head on over and rate and review the podcast. Go out and recommend it to friends and family. And if you want to see some cool films, head on over to midnightfrightfilms.com.
You cut that way down.
Yeah,
I was timing this shit.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got 13.37 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, usually with 4 or 5 minutes.
We're going to rework the whole Patreon thing and stuff like that. See if we can figure out some things that we can give away. And now I'm talking about it, and it's going to take as long as if I had just done the whole fucking
That's cool. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. For Maddy and Patrick and Greg and myself, it's Midnight Frightcast, episode number 59. We'll see you next time.